Roof of Africa is proudly presented to you by Motul, in association with Matakani Group of Companies and Avani Lesotho Hotel and Casino.
We are in the Roof of Africa. This is the 50th edition of the race, and I'm excited to try to win.
I've got a lot of memories here, last few years. Probably 50-50, good and bad memories.
I feel most at home in this part of the race, but it's still new and unknown to me. Knobbly tyres and the wet tarmac isn't a great mix, but this should be my best shout to sort of have a strong finish.
With so much hype around the 50th edition of the Motul Roof of Africa, it attracted many new names from all forms of racing, including Isle of Man TT record holder James Hillier.
Of course, winning the 50th anniversary Roof of Africa is a milestone. It's going to go down in history, and it's definitely one that everybody's going to want to win.
Only the silver and gold class competed in this year's traditional round the houses, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it's gonna be my first experience out in the asphalt, especially when it's wet. It's not funny at all. So just take it easy, try to make a good result for sure, but don't make any stupid mistake, and just looking forward to the after race.
After a few strong podiums in the hard enduro scene this season, Mario Roman chose to end off his 2017 tour at the Roof. All the big names from the world over got their 2017 Motul Roof of Africa underway around the streets of Maseru before heading out into a very cold Bushman's Pass for the time trial. The slippery, wet conditions made it treacherous on the tarmac, but that didn't faze SA National Enduro champion Travis Teasdale as he took an early lead.
Yeah, I came home from the hotel on a bike last night, and I tell you what, there's diesel on the road. It was spinning all the way, and it's going to be interesting. But, you know, most of the top guys don't go here to win the round the houses. You know, it's only the crazy guys that want a bit of fame. But that's what it's about. When you put your helmet on, your brain switches off, and off they go.
After a poor start, Wade Young had to fight his way back through the order, as the time from round the houses would be added to the time trial results, but a small mistake set him back briefly. Once again, the extreme weather played its part for another Roof of Africa.
Yeah, you know, I think everybody saw that the weather was closing in. We didn't believe it. I mean, it's nearly the end of November. It's crazy. But yeah, 50th edition, there's big trouble up there. I mean, it's over 2,000 meters Bushman's are snowed in, and I think Jarvis was doing his rain dance or his snow dance during the week, and it's obviously, if they do go out there, the guy is just amazing in the wet.
After 20 centimeters of snowfall and driving rain in the morning, the temperatures had plummeted to -4 degrees.
Yeah, it's like 4 seasons in one day virtually. You never know what you're going to get. It can be boiling hot but snowing on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, for sure it's better with a bit of rain. We have no dust, and for the bikes also is better. Makes the race harder if rains. I don't know, I never ride in this terrain with raining conditions.
Well, just take it each day at a time, and time trial, I don't want to lose too much time. I never normally win that, so if I can stay somewhere near the top, and for me it's going to be down to them difficult passes where I'm going to gain the time, because there's so many fast guys out there now.
Massive. It's the biggest race on our South African calendar. I think everyone works towards this at the end of the year, and especially now with big names, it'll mean even more.
After a brilliant local season, Brett Swanepoel's race came to an early end after suffering a crash and breaking his sternum. A sad day for the Husqvarna rider. Meanwhile, all the race favourites were riding together and keeping a close eye on each other early on.
Luckily, I'm not pulling off time trial first, so we'll have a track to follow. There's a more distinct track in the snow, so navigating I think will be a little bit easier.
I just love bikes, I love riding. I ride quite a bit of enduro at home. My road race season's quite short, so I fill the rest of the year up with riding enduro, and I thought, why not? I don't like to turn any opportunity down, and bucket list thing, I just I'll sort of try it this year, and then I guess maybe come back to try again.
It's snow in the mountain, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm really happy with every kind of condition. I'm feeling better and with better performance than ever, so looking forward to do such a great job.
Mayo Roman's start to the race wasn't ideal, as he briefly lost his way, whilst the top 10 was rounded off by Dwayne Clennams, trailing Carl Flanagan by just over 2 minutes.
It's a different extreme to the heat, but I think it's a good extreme, and it'll definitely challenge the South African guys for sure, to play in the hand a bit more of the Europeans.
It really is quite short, 39 kilometers, and quite easy, nothing too difficult.
Scott Burberry's start to the race didn't quite go as planned, as he could only muster an 8th place finish a full 6 minutes behind the leaders. It was a great start to Manuel Lettenbuchler's maiden attempt at the Roof of Africa, as he qualified 7th fastest, just 5 seconds adrift of father Andreas Lettenbuchler in 6th. A first in the history of hard enduro, and for the Roof of Africa, father and son qualify. Time trial, top 10.
Last year I make a mistake on the time trial, I lose 10 minutes. So this year hopefully I make no mistakes again, and I will try to win.
Alfredo Gomez was back for revenge after narrowly losing to Jarvis in 2016, and he got off to a good qualifier, 5th place, but the story was out front, where Graham Jarvis, Wade Young, Travis Teasdale and Blake Goodsight diced it out for time trial honours.
Yeah, I think weather's going to be a big factor, but to be honest, I'm not too stressed. I'm happy if it's raining or if it's super hot. Either way, I'm not too worried.
After 37 kilometres in the saddle, only 6 seconds separated the top 3 South Africans, whilst Graham Jarvis lay a further 1 minute behind. In the silver qualifier at his first crack at the Roof of Africa, the famous name of Cox, this time Bradley, topping the charts in the time trial ahead of teammate and previous winner in the bronze, Heinrich Zellhuber. Willem Schonfeld got a third place ahead of Mark Kirby and Zenik Cyprian. And in the bronze, it was Brett Geary, pre-race favourite, taking the win in the time trial.
Yeah, it's pretty close setting off. The time trial's close, and yeah, it's some fast going. So I was happy to, ended up fourth. So just happy not to lose too much time.
I started sixth, so I caught the guys quick. That means I had a good pace and good form, So I'm just going to try to do the same thing today. Wade and Travis are really going for it. I'm just going to try hang behind them and break around the pass.
Not the greatest, but at least we got into the swing of things, and yeah, hopefully today we'll have a good ride, and I'm hoping it's quite difficult so that the gaps start to form a little bit. Yeah, I think because it's a lot shorter, I think the pace is going to be super high. It's definitely going to be shorter, but definitely not any easier. I think the guys are going to be pushing from word go to the end, so it's going to be a tough day.
It was pretty good. I had like a really good ride, and I'm really looking forward for today.
It was Travis Teasdale who got proceedings underway on the start of day 2 with sunny but cold conditions. Blake Goodsight started just behind with Wade Young in close pursuit.
I'm just going to try to catch the guys in front of me, and yeah, we'll see, just take it as it goes, but if I can make a break, I will. If not, I'm not going to do anything stupid, so there's still another day tomorrow. So yeah, we'll just play it as it goes.
With just the 2 signature passes for day number 2 of the Roof, it meant that Graham Jarvis would have to work hard to stay with the front 3, as was the case with Alfredo Gomez.
The terrain is so rocky, so it's like completely different to Europe. But I'm pretty excited for today. It's the first off-road day, and I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, look, I am happy. I think starting in the top 10 gives me a good base to work off, and yeah, we'll go out today. I can only do my best, and I prepared well for this race, and I know what I've got to do, so I feel good.
Friday is 100 kilometers and 2 signature passes there. They're going to work hard in the morning, and it'll be an easy ride in the afternoon. So soon after the start on Friday, the riders are going to head out to Belacoma Pass. It's also known as Welcome Pass. It's a 30 to 40 minute climb, lots of loose rocks, a lot of switchbacks at the top.
Travis Teasdale and Wade Young had worked hard in the early stages and rode up Belacoma Pass together in a tense start to day 2.
It's going to be more enjoyable when you're getting past 6-7 hours. It's not much fun, but makes it a bit more of a, you can't call it a sprint, but it's going to be closer racing, definitely.
Pushing hard saw Graham Jarvis make his way past Blake Goodsight to hold 3rd place, with Goodsight dropping to 4th.
As the season is going, the most important thing is don't crash, don't have mistakes, and don't lose time at any point.
Alfredo Gomez was making up time on the 4 ahead. However, an old injury was starting to harrow the Spaniard's charge. With unfamiliar terrain, Manuel Lettenbichler was soldiering on and passed his father Andreas at the bottom of the climb to now lay 6th overall.
Yeah, I know it'll be nice to warm up a little bit and obviously we're used to the heat, and I think it suits the South Africans a bit more. So yeah, hopefully it warms up a bit.
2016's third place finisher Scott Burberry was also starting to make gains as the morning went on, closely followed by Andreas Littenbichler. Mokoppo Pass was next up as the second signature climb, topping out at 2,450 meters above sea level. Once into the Mokoppo Pass, the two up front were still in an intense battle.
And they're going to get to the second signature pass of the day, which is called Mokopi. That's straight after the assisted refuel, and also a vertical climb of about 500 meters. And it's a lot more technical than Bella Coma, and it's also going to take them between 25 and 30 minutes to get to the top.
Everyone's form's good. It's great to be here with all the best hard enduro riders in the world, and just to have a great team, Yamaha behind me, backing my YZ250X, so excited.
Alfredo Gomez continued to struggle through the pain and pushed on to the top of the Mokoppo Pass as he closed in on Yamaha's Blake Goodsite. Nearing the summit of Mokoppo saw Scott Burberry move to within striking distance of Manuel Lettenbichler.
I'm hoping it is technical, because otherwise it's going to be another case like yesterday where everyone races full gas the whole day.
I want to beat him. I'm a pro rider now, so I should beat him. But it's always, he has like so much experience, and he's also fit at the moment, and I think he's a good competitor also to the other guys.
After a rough time in the time trial, Mario Roman was fastest on both climbs, but still adrift of the leaders.
Yeah, it's good to have him here. He's a really good rider, so he didn't have the best day yesterday, obviously just still getting into everything a bit, but I'm sure as soon as it starts getting hard, he'll start making up some good time.
The Roof of Africa is such a special race for all of us. You can never take this race away. It's probably one of the highlights of the year.
Meanwhile, it was carnage for all the riders trying to break their way into a top 10 as they fought hard to make up time. Isleman TT superstar James Hillier was still in the race, but was struggling to come to terms with the rocks and the ice.
A lot of the sections are like trials, so it's key to have trials experience, and riding is a big asset to have. So normally road racing I'm averaging just over 210 kilometers per hour, whereas extreme enduro, I think some sections I'll be averaging maybe 5 kilometers per hour. So it's a massive contrast. And I like to push myself and my body and kind of be out my comfort zone, and extreme enduro is definitely going to do all of those things.
The roof compared to the other races it's different just mainly because of the terrain. Just so many loose, dry rocks here. You know, it's a lot harder on the body than a lot of other races.
With no major climbs left for the rest of the day, it was always going to be a struggle for the international riders to catch up to the local men at the front, and the gap had grown to almost 10 minutes with only 20 Ks to go.
It's just got a light feel to it. It's actually not that much lighter than a 4-stroke, but it's got that less engine inertia, you know, engine braking and picking up and stuff. I don't know, I just love the 2-stroke.
Yeah, me and Wade had a really fast pace in the morning on Belacoma. The pass, we had a good pace going up there, as well as Mapoku, and yeah, we pulled a big gap on third place. We basically used each other today to navigate. It was quite tough, especially the last loop now to navigate. A lot of snow and quite hard to find the right line.
Navigation was made harder by the conditions as well, and Blake Goodsight was a victim to that, as Alfredo Gomez made the pass on him into 4th position.
Travis and I rode pretty much. I caught up in the beginning and then tried to get away on some of the passes. We ended up going up Welcome together, and then Makopo, I managed to get away a bit, and then afterwards I was daydreaming a bit and he caught back up.
It was Wade Young who came across the line to win day 2 of the Motul Roof of Africa, with Travis Teasdale a few seconds behind in 2nd, setting up a tense finale for the final day of the 50th edition of the Motul Roof of Africa.
A lot of snow and quite hard to find the right line, but yeah, finishing the day strong and yeah, feeling really good.
Just going as fast as I can, and they just pulled the gap. Nothing I can do really, but there's nothing really too difficult. Just you know, the usual gnarly rocks, and very difficult to navigate as usual. You know, long grass, and you know, finding the way was horrendous.
No, not so much. This morning I was riding good the first 2 hours, but after that I start to feel pain in my wrist, in my hand, and I couldn't have a good handling with the bike to play with, and especially going down, it's so painful.
In the results then, it was all about Wade Young and Travis Teasdale dominating things out front. Jarvis, Goodsight, Burberry and Gomez were in a little bit of trouble heading into the final day.
It's good to have a nice lead over Graham. It's still not safe, should I say. He's pretty good on the hard stuff, so definitely not riding him off, and Travis is also riding well, so yeah, it's going to definitely still be a good race, and it's still open field.
In silver in the Mankalupa Pass, there was a change up in the top 2, with Zellhuber now pulling 20 minutes out of Bradley Cox. And in bronze, it was Ryan Peltzer topping the charts on day 2.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were dicing yesterday on time trial as well, so just happy to come away with the win today and try and keep it for tomorrow as well.
Motul Roof of Africa was presented to you by Motul in association with MGC and Avani Lesotho Hotel and Casino.